Draymond was talking about how important this stretch of meaningful games are for you, for Moses, for JK, just to get your feet wet and prepare you guys for what's to come. Is that how you view this stretch, and how important is it to feel this type of intense basketball?
Yeah, from the Memphis game and, from that point to the next 4 games, every game's a playoff game to us. That's how I prepare for it. I know that's how everybody else is preparing for it. And so, for me, Moses and JK to play well specifically tonight. And then me and Moses obviously having 2 clutch plays in Memphis. It gives us ultimate confidence to just go out there and understand, what the game is, but also just understand it's just a basketball game at the end of the day. It just holds a little bit more magnitude. And so obviously we all 3 of us played well and it helped us win.
Brandin, first of all, great game tonight. Playing with a guy like Steph Curry, we hear you guys shoot these half-court shots and all this fun in practice. But when you get in a game like tonight where you're just, in a zone, just speak to, how that's able to help this team out, especially you being such a young player. And they know they can go to a young guy. Draymond was giving you your props when he was in here. And you don't have to lean on the veterans. You're a young guy that can step in and produce for the team, too.
Yeah, I think the first part, me and Steph, shooting competitions, half-court competitions all the time. We're actually tied 24-24 right now, the half-court competition. So just a few shoot-arounds left. But I think we just try to make fun of it and understand that, Steph's the best shooter. That's, every step foot on the earth. And so to pick his brain, not only shooting, but just that flow state that he gets into, when he's shooting the lights out, kind of how we saw in Memphis. Just trying to, pick his brain on that and then just get in that kind of rhythm yourself. Obviously, I've had 2 good shooting games on this trip. And so just continue that, to lean on that. And then to your second question, as a young player, having that confidence from the older guys that, you can be leaned on and you're not just out there is super special, especially, as a young player, you got so many things you want to accomplish. To have that confidence from your vets is, amazing.
What's the format of these half-court shooting contests? Is like best out of 10, best out of 5? How do you determine a winner?
Yeah, so we each just shoot 1 shot after practice or during shoot-around, and then we both shoot 1 pre-game. And so if we both miss, nothing counts. If we both make, nothing counts. And so you get 1 shot a day, and we're tied right now.
Hello, Brandin. Congratulations first. And when you was kids, have you ever thought that you can have the performance and stand on the Lakers court, play the game like this?
Yeah, I think me being a confident person myself, understanding, what the team needs, but also what I'm capable of. This is a big game for us because if we lost, we would have dropped to 8th. And so understanding that, we can't just rely on Jimmy, Steph, and Dray every night. There's going to be other pieces in the playoff other players in the playoffs that got to step up. And I think I'm more than capable of doing that. And I was able to do that tonight in a high stakes game.
And how much did you enjoy the game tonight?
Yeah, playing in LA is always fun. Playing against the Lakers in this, historic building. Obviously, at one point, probably 5 Hall of Famers on the floor together. And so just to be, on the same team as them, but also going up against guys like LeBron, Luka, Austin Reeves, it's special when you look back on it.
Since Jimmy's been here with you guys, what's the most important piece of advice that he's given you personally?
He's always just making sure I'm being aggressive, especially, when Steph comes out at the 3-minute mark of each half, or first quarter and third quarter, and it's me and Jimmy in there. He doesn't just want the ball to always go through him. And, some stars want that, but he always constantly reminded me to be aggressive and shoot my shots too, and not just, have everything go through him, which is, like I said, to his point earlier, from a veteran saying that's been to the finals, that's done so well, that's just more confidence to the confidence I already have.
Hey, Brandin, also congrats on the game. I'm kind of curious in the last minute when Steph was on the line and we're here at the Lakers arena, the people were starting to give these MVP chances for Steph, like out of your perspective. Did you realize that? And how crazy is that to be at the home game, for the Lakers and then everyone was giving Steph the chance?
I definitely heard it. And of late, we've been hearing it, kind of everywhere we've been, and deservedly so. He's been playing, so well at 37, playing heavy minutes all the time. and producing at a high level. And he's our guy. Obviously, we're going to rock with him, but he deserves his MVP chance because he's playing like it.
JJ, after what seemed like a pretty good first 5-6 minutes in terms of shot quality, what did you see from kind of midway through the first through the rest of the half defensively, and how what your team was doing against it?
I thought our first shot defense was great throughout the first half. They had 7 offensive rebounds for 12 points in the second quarter. We couldn't score for 6.5 minutes, and I think not surprised that they switched everything. We expected that. We scored 69 points in the second half against the same defense. I think we just got a little stagnant and didn't want to move. You got to move. You got to play with force. You got to get to the next thing. Sometimes, and you'll have to ask the guys this. I think sometimes the expenditure of energy on one end, and you don't have it for the other end. I thought our guys were playing hard on defense in the first half, and then just the second opportunities, and that continued. During our comeback, there were a number of possessions where got to stop, but they ended up getting an offensive rebound and end up scoring on it, or there's a loose ball, they get the loose ball. There was a few plays there. The 88-80 to start the fourth, and we get 2 wide open threes, and maybe that's a momentum change. We just the big momentum changing sort of stretch we just couldn't muster, and a lot of that had to do with just the second opportunities.
JJ, Luka just 6 for 17 tonight, and then defensively it felt like they were targeting him a lot in pick and rolls, and even when you guys would maybe put him on someone else, they'd find a way to bring him into the action. What did you make of his night on both sides?
Wasn't his night.
JJ, in the first half when you guys weren't scoring, it seemed like a lot of that was missed threes, but it was like your shot profile seemed to change. Like, I want to say like 8 and 9 foot twos, stuff like that. Like, what were they doing on that? Was that anything?
It was not what they were doing. It was what we were doing, and we showed them at halftime. The spacing, alignments, and having the wrong guy in the dunker spot, the wrong guy in the corner. It was not. Again, the structure of what we were trying to do against Reds, and what every team tries to do against Reds, is create the proper spacing and create the proper next guy and create the proper guys in the corners, and we just didn't have that. And you end up with turnovers, and you end up with a bunch of non-rim twos.
Is that disappointing, considering kind of the mentality that you would kind of ask your team to have in terms of like, we need to build playoff mentality now, and that's focus and stuff.
Yeah, we're still building it. We're not there.
You mentioned weeks ago, don't remember how long ago, but you mentioned that before the trade in February, you guys were really good against switching. Then you guys went through maybe a little bit of a lull against it. Were you surprised by how much you guys struggled against their switching, at least early on, before you guys seemed to recover and had the second half you did have offensively?
Not surprised. I wouldn't say surprised.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.